Hey there, I hope you're having a wonderful February. It's a little bit weird for me to say February because I'm actually filming this in advance. This is actually, we're only in January right now, but I shot this in advance because I wanted to still, post stuff while I was away in Japan where I am now. Anyway, as in where I am when this goes live. So anyway, this week is something a little bit different. Rather than doing a plan with me, I'm going to be doing a swatch with me, hence all the stuff that you see on the table. Basically, I have a Travelers Factory notebook cover over here, which is a bit banged up, but basically it's not getting any use, so I decided that it would be as good as a reason as any to use it for swatching stuff. So one of the biggest things I have to swatch is my collection of shiny paint, and as you can see, there is a lot of it. So for this particular swatch journal, I actually have two notebooks. So I have two different inserts here. One is the black paper insert, and this is this you can get at any Travelers Factory partner store. So you can't get them from anywhere that sells Travelers Factory stuff, but you can get it from places that sell, there are partner stores or official or the official Travelers Factory store. So it's a little bit complicated. I think the nearest one to me is if you are in like the Southeast Asia region, I think the nearest one is Stickerific in Malaysia. Yeah, so this is entirely black paper, other than one piece here, and I've kind of already started swatching. So these paints look really good on black paper, so I want to see them on black as well as on normal paper. So I have the name in broad edge calligraphy, and then I have the company as well as the collection, if that applies, in the in just regular script. So this is more, I won't consider this copperplate, more like modern kind of script. Yeah, so yep, so this is on black paper, and then I have a plain insert here. This is from Nakameguro, which is the flagship store in Tokyo, just outside Tokyo, and they have a Starbucks Reserve roastery there. So I had a friend pick this up for me when she was in Tokyo sometime in late 2023 last year. So what I like to use for my swatch journal is actually all these like location limited edition inserts, because I can't bear to use them otherwise, but I think it's a very cool thing to use for things that you need to keep. So I didn't notice, but there's actually a map in here of the area. So you have like the Travelers Factory store here, there's a supermarket, there's some chocolate, and then there's the roastery reserve here. So anyway, this is what the same colors look like on the cream paper. So they're pretty different, so that's why I want to do it on more than one type of paper. And essentially, I am very excited to fill up this entire journal with all the paints. So I won't be able to do all of it in this video, and in fact I'm not even going to touch the black notebook in this video because it's a bit tricky. So I'm just going to be doing it on I'll just do a couple of swatches in this on this regular cream paper, and I hope you enjoy. So I don't really trust myself to write without guidelines because it's been quite a while, so I made myself guidelines basically. On the back here is just a list of all the colors that I own and the order in which that I organize my paints, so I know which collection each one belongs to. So one thing I forgot when I made these guidelines is that as you can see here, I'm not very good at keeping my downstrokes perfectly straight when it comes to the broad edge. So I am going to actually go in really quickly and add some some more guidelines here basically, so give me a moment. Alright, so something roughly like that. And then now I'm gonna get started with actually doing this. So I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way to do this, especially with the writing on the other side, but I'm just gonna try it here. So I'm gonna line this here and this. Trying to remind myself it doesn't need to be perfect. So I use a paper clip to hold it in place somewhat. Alright, go. Okay, so my next color here is actually gold, which is very basic. And I am going to move this a bit out of the way. This is not my best G ever. It's alright, it's the first one of the day. So one of the things that I struggle with when it comes to this is like the need to be perfect, because I can see so many mistakes. But at the same time, I haven't done this in a while, so it's kind of expected that I'll make mistakes. And here. This is definitely the worst G I've ever written in a long time. That's okay. Honestly, I'm cringing a bit looking at this because it's really deformed. But I am not going to beat myself up over it. I really haven't picked up a broad edge pen in quite some time, so I'm just gonna cut myself some slack and consider this like practice, and I will just keep going. Alright, this one I have a lot more muscle memory when it comes. I have like a hell lot more muscle memory when it comes to scripts, so I am not so concerned about this. Like, honestly, I've done a lot more with pointer pen than I have with broad edge, so there's a reason why I'm less concerned about this one. Honestly, I took my first like pointed pen class in I think it was 2016, the end of 2016, and so it's been 8 years, I guess. I mean, not that I practice super consistently these days, which is part of why I was doing that whole I am doing that whole what do you call it, discontinuation sale thing on my lettering workbooks, because I figured that that would give, I want to take some time to really like have the time to, and energy I guess, to focus on creative stuff rather than thinking about what direction do I want to take, because I feel like it needs to come from somewhere. And I guess I want to start with like the creative end rather than what do you call this, rather than, you know, what makes money, as counterintuitive as it sounds. I mean, this is not meant to be like a whole full-fledged pay my bills business. This is supposed to be something that I enjoy doing. So okay, I'm not going to have space to put Venice down. Okay, I'm gonna put Venice down last, like later on, because actually can I? Yeah, they can. Alright, so the next color I'm going to use is this bluey thing, which is ultramarine. Alright, so I made a boo-boo smudging it here. It is technically salvageable, but I'll get to that. So my spacing is really terrible this time. Like, this should be even, but it really is not. Alright, so this is definitely not my best work, but here's ultramarine. It is a very pretty blue purple kind of color. Alright, so I'm probably going to speed this up when I in editing, simply because I don't think it makes sense to keep this real time. But if you think that you'd like to see more of these but in real time, I will definitely be happy to film it. As it is per Swatch, like just one of these will take easily like 5-10 minutes, because calligraphy is just, I mean, it is a slow art, and that's like what makes it fun, but it does take a lot. It's part of why like it takes a lot of time just to swatch every single thing, and I do enjoy it, but I also do have probably a close to, I don't know if I've hit 100 yet, I don't think I have, but I do have 48. Let me do a count. So my palette has 48 in it, and then I have another 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 plus 48 is 7, probably close to 7, over 70. Yeah, so I do have over 70 colors to swatch, and just swatching all that's going to take a very long time, and clearly not something I can do in one sitting. Well, I could, but like I would also not get anything done for a few days. So I definitely would love to actually make this a series and swatch everything, and you know, and I mean, I guess now that we don't have Chatups anymore, or rather now that I don't have oh, sorry, oh my god, what's, so I'm definitely going to speed this up in when I edit this video, simply because each swatch can take anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes depending. So I think that's a bit too long, but if you like to see these in real time, or you know, and or you think that speeding it up is a good choice, maybe let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'm thinking that maybe this can be the new Chatups, because I have, well, I have already finished my 2019-2020 journal, so I guess I need something else to do. Not that I don't have things to do, I do, but it's kind of like, I guess almost like a I want to say a replacement, only that it's not. So I'm gonna keep this one real time, just so that you have a sense of how long it lasts without speeding up. But I think the rest of it, the other swatches, I will speed up. So the bulk of my collection is paints from the Creative Kinds, who I will link below. They are, I believe, husband and wife. Honestly, I think so. Team who make paints out of, now they're making paints out of Italy. When I met them, they were making paints out of Thailand. So shipping was a lot more bearable back then. But they moved back to Italy, and I have already been hooked to the quality that I get out of the paints. So I'm hooked basically. So I do still get new colors from them occasionally, but definitely not as frequently as before, in part because I have such a big collection already, and the other part of it is just that shipping is a bit more painful these days, which, you know, it's nothing they can do about it. It's something that is I mean, it's just the cost of shipping internationally. So that's also why I am very excited to be heading to Tokyo, because there's this store called Paper Tree in Tokyo that brings in a lot of things from the US and stuff like that, like non-Asian retailers basically, that you know, usually would cost an arm and a leg to ship into Singapore or anywhere in Asia really. But I'm quite excited because I might be able to get some stuff there. I am, yeah, anyway, I'll save that for the what do you call it, for the vlog that I will probably do on that. So I do have plans to shoot while I am in Japan, so oh my god, what am I doing? Alright, this is turning out, I think, slightly better, though the spacing here is a bit too big. I'm sure if I didn't point it out, it probably won't be obvious, but unfortunately, I am a bit of a perfectionist, so it does bother me. So this color is called Jellyfish. It's from, so the Under the Sea collection, I think was supposed to be inspired by The Little Mermaid, which is very nice. The funny thing is that later on they came out with another collection that was floral, but this also reminds me of The Little Mermaid. Isn't it pretty? As you can see, I haven't swatched this at all yet, and I really need to. At the very least, a swatch, just to, like, you know, get things moving again. Like, I do like the idea of coming back to do lots of swatches because it's a very easy way to practice, I guess, because essentially all I need to do is to, I mean, what I need to write is already predetermined, and I can set myself like a goal of, or like today I'm going to sit down and finish, like, you know, 4 swatches just like this, just finish 1 page, and I'm going to leave it to dry, and then I'll come back to it another day, like, to continue the rest. So that is definitely something that I think I will be continuing, but let me know if you want me to make this a regular series, because honestly speaking, like, filming, I'm not sure how long I can talk for while doing this. And I guess it is also a good thing for me if I were to film this, because I have this terrible habit of putting my face really, really close to the paper. And I know when I'm doing this kind of script, which is bad for my shoulders, bad for my posture, also bad for, yeah, it's just bad posture all around. It's just, I don't know why I feel the need to put my face so near to it. Maybe it's just if my face is closer to it, I have more control kind of situation. But it definitely leaves me with like shoulder aches the next day, which is definitely unpleasant. But if I'm filming while doing it, I actually cannot, oh, that was a terrible E. I actually cannot, what was that? I actually can't put my face that near, because if my face is that near, you would literally just be seeing my head, and that would negate the whole point of filming. So yeah, I think that might be a good idea for me, but I'm not sure if that's content that would be interesting to you. So let me know. I do think that, I mean, from what I recollect from doing videos in general, real-time writing has always done well because it's very fun to watch. I personally also like watching videos like that, so I would like to make them. If I hear no responses, or rather, if I see no protests, I will take it as a go-ahead. See, this is what happens when I get distracted. There's like a gap here. So, quick trick. The rule is to put it beside, but this was 2 beside. Yep. Hence the squall. So I might choose to flourish this slightly differently another time, but for now this works out. I hate it when you run out of paint like mid-flourish. Like, honestly, this is not the most well executed thing, but given that this is for myself, I am just gonna, you know, in a sense, not care. I originally wanted to finish this entire set before I went to Japan, just so that I could bring it along, because Paper Tree does stock the creative kinds, but I realized that at the end of the day, I do already know what I want if I want to purchase anything, so I am just not gonna do that. because the other part of it is also because I've just been so busy in January that I haven't had the time to start any of this. Like, I started this today mostly because, well, it's about time I got started on it, and I kind of want to make a video on it as well. And also I need a break from cleaning my house. I am so tired of cleaning. We have a bit of mold infestation in this house now. Minor one, mostly due to the humidity more than any other thing. It's not like a major in the walls, whatever kind of thing. In fact, I don't think that's possible in our apartment build, so that's one thing we're very lucky for. But we do, the recent rainy weather plus the fact that we are literally right next to the sea has made for some pretty nasty moldiness. I was chatting with a friend about it, and she was telling me that it's quite common actually. I mean, this is the 4th place I'm living in now, and as in like locally, as in like this is the 4th house that like we have. This is the 4th house I have lived in ever, including like my parents' house, my parents' second house after we sold the first one, and then like the apartment that we rented out previously, and then now this house. And like this is the first time I'm encountering anything like that, and I have changed really nothing much about how I lived, so it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, my traveler's notebook got a bit banged up because of that, because it's leather, and I have no idea why it's like that. It was, I mean, it has followed me from house to house since 2017, so it's been in all the houses that I've ever lived in. And yeah, that's the first place it has gotten damaged. But my friend said that her leather bags do get damaged usually during this season if she takes it out, if like she cleans it during this season. So I guess that's something to note. Thankfully my more expensive leather goods are still fine, so yeah. But my preserved flowers and stuff like that, they're all gone. Like, it's time to yeet them out the window, so it's quite frustrating. But frankly, I think it's probably the weather we've been having recently. It's quite wet, if that's the word for it. Alright, this is a bit slanted again. I always forget to turn my paper between like scripts, which is not good. So yeah, this is not the best A. Shape is a bit wrong. I know it sounds like I'm really hypercritical of myself, but I feel like in terms of getting better at a script, it's a matter of actually bothering to look at what you're practicing and, you know, going like, okay, what did I do wrong here? Or what did I do right here? And then making corrections. So I'm not really, I guess it sounds negative, but it's kind of like the way you take what, I mean, in a sense, I'm talking to myself, right? So it's kind of like how you take your own criticism. Like, are you saying, like, you know, are you saying it as like, you know, I suck at this and I'm always gonna suck at it? Or is it yeah, this is not that great, and I'll do better next time? And in my case, I feel like I mean it in a, okay, so this like this doesn't look so good this time, but I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to take note of that with the next one. Because I mean, in this case, you're criticizing yourself, so it's kind of how you want to take the tone with yourself as well. I mean, I could take the tone of, oh my god, you suck so much, like you've been doing this for how long now, and you know, things like that. I could, but also it's just a very nasty way to talk to myself, and I don't think that's the kind of voice that I want in my head. Like for example, like this S is kind of messy here at the bottom, and yeah, S's are not my strong suit, so maybe I will practice them separately in a different notebook later on, you know, like just after this or something. So, but if you look at it, like my spacing here for the fish looks a lot better, so that's an improvement. I do feel that in terms of just general self-critique, it's always helpful, but it's really how you want to talk to yourself. Just random things that I picked up from, I guess, therapy and stuff. I'm just trying to be less of a dick to myself. Okay, ran out of paint. So if you're wondering, do I have paints from other makers besides the Creative Kinds? Yes, I do actually. I have a small selection of paints from makers that are closer to me, as in, how do you put it? Like spatially, not emotionally. But I have a bunch of paints from some Singaporean and Malaysian makers, so those originally I planned to swatch at the start of this notebook, but I have decided to take a leaf from my bullet journal days and put them at the back of the book. So I mean, at this juncture with so many colors, I don't think that it makes sense for me to purchase that many more, and I am very much a fan of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if it ain't broke, you know, why bother messing with it? So that applies to purchasing things as well. Generally, and you know, brand loyalty and stuff like that. So usually if I like something, I tend to go back to the same brand to get things. So in this case, for paints, I just generally go to Barcelona, the Creative Kinds, simply because they have so far always delivered, and yeah, so I just go back to them again and again. Plus, honestly, I have so much paint that it doesn't make sense for me to go out there and explore what other options are there and stuff like that, because I have so much paint, it's more than I can use in a lifetime. Okay, that's a lie, but I have so much paint that it really doesn't make sense for me to purchase more just for trying it out. This is supposed to be a K and I jumped to the S, so I'm just gonna continue from here as though there's no S, okay? Like, I'm sorry guys. Like, if like Barcelona happens to watch this, I'm so sorry for misspelling their brand. But yeah, I just feel that I want to, or rather, I'm just lazy. It's like skincare for me. If I find something that I like, I tend to stick with it. I'm not really the kind of person who would go out there and purchase more just for trying. I mean, I do that sometimes for pens, but pens are firstly generally cheaper because one is like $1 or $2 maybe at most $3 if they're talking about like your gel pens, your highlighters. So the cost in that sense isn't that high. The other thing would be that using them up is also a lot easier, especially when you're talking about like your standard black gel pen. So when it comes to stuff like that, I'm a bit more open to trying new things. But at the end of the day, I find that like I always go back to the same old things that work for me. So it doesn't make sense to me to purchase like a whole multitude of paints from various different makers just to give it a go, because then I'll never end up using the things, and I feel like that is for me overconsumption. So I don't like that personally for myself. So that D is terrible. So yeah, I do have paints from other makers. I have one paint from Dribbling Colors in Malaysia. I have two from Metallics, which is by Calligraphy, and I have another like 3 to 4 more from what's that, and Flower Tales, who is local to me. But I still feel that personally for me, I like my Creative Kinds paints a lot, so I see no reason to keep purchasing more than I need, because I have so many. Just like, if I were to take account of my paints, I have maybe about 70 odd colors, like 70, slightly over 70, and only about less than 7, maybe like 7 of them, or even less, are from other makers. So I have, but that's still like 60 over colors from one maker, and like 60 over colors is a lot of colors to finish up in any case. All right, so this is 1 page, I guess 2 pages of my Swatch journal. These do take time to dry. They are relatively quick dry, but they do take time to dry, and honestly, it's gonna take quite a while longer for me to finish up this entire thing. So I'm gonna end this video here, and yeah, I hope that I can come back and do more Swatch with me in the future. So let me know again what you think of real-time swatching versus, you know, sped up swatching. And also, I guess, I mean, as much as I say I just want to stick with what I have, if you feel there is a particular paint or something that I really have to try, please let me know, because I'm always curious. And I mean, I could always try. I mean, that's what this is basically. This was me trying other makers, and while I may not commit to the insanity again of purchasing 60 over colors from one maker, simply because it's just way too much paint to use up in a lifetime. I don't want it to be like my fountain pen ink situation where I have an entire box, and honestly, unless I glug it down, I have no idea how I'm gonna finish it before I don't know, I croak in a few years' time, like, you know, in a decade or 2 decades or 4 decades, who knows. So okay, sorry, a bit of morbid humor there. But yeah, I just want to have things that I would actually be able to use up and, you know, actually enjoy, so rather than having clutter. So yeah, if you have other paints that you feel that, and any other brands that you feel that I should try, do let me know. I will check them out. But yeah, in any case, I hope you enjoyed this little swatch of me and my rather rusty calligraphy. So I believe the next time I will be filming, I will be finally back in Singapore from Japan. I do believe that at that point, I will probably do a planner update on my journals in January, how did I use them. Might be a bit complicated because I'm not bringing some of them to Japan, but we'll see. And yeah, and then I am considering doing a Japan vlog for my trip, but it really depends on how the filming turns out, how the footage turns out, basically. So we'll see, because I have no idea how that's gonna turn out as of right now, because I leave in 2 days. And so yep, I hope that you have a great week ahead, and I will see you next week. Bye.